because he had been subjected to certain military, who knows, military experiments or whatever that had changed him. And he could no longer live amongst, just regular humans. He had a tendency to want to live out away from them. So I don't know. It's it's kind of bizarre that I would even have personal contact and actually know of certain things like that. And that's why it hits me more closer to home, because I've seen it affect people I know.
Interesting. So, now, James, have you known anybody like that?
Oh, I do know this. Yeah, kind of a couple of years ago. I won't say who the person is. They were kind of my mentor as far as they were a psychic medium, and when I had some stuff happen to me, third eye opening and stuff, they really mentored me and helped me. But a year after that, they just kind of like went off the reservation, so to speak. I think they got abducted because their whole outlook on life and everything totally did a 180, and they were saying, and I quote, the aliens are here to help us, and this person was making videos, and has a group that I was a member of. I mean, we was friends and stuff, and then. And the videos, the person was saying, it's okay when they come get you, let them take you. They're adjusting your DNA and to help us. And I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, they're coming and getting us against our will, and we should have a choice or a say-so, number one. And number two, who's to say that by doing this, they're taking away our emotions? And when you take away somebody's emotions, and they're easier to control. Think about it. If you have no emotions, you're like a robot. If I tell you to come over here and do this or that, you're just going to do it. You're not going to think about it or argue or get mad or sad. So when that happened, I was like, I was blown away. I seen a complete change in this person, totally somebody else. And when they started saying that stuff, and I'm not going to go with it. And I told them, I said, look, I think there's something going on with you. And they just, had nothing else to do with me. But yeah, that was my experience in that.
Well, again, I've interviewed people, and some of the people I've interviewed have actually passed on through the years that, they claimed they were abducted and they were enhanced, their DNA was enhanced. But you know what? They didn't live. One of them I knew very well died in his early 70s. Another one I know of died in his, late 60s. So if they had enhancements done while they were abducted, I don't see where it gave them long life. I do know that they were a basket case, both of those people, because they were so worried about being abducted every night. They would go to bed every single night. This is what they told me. They'd go put their head on the bed, and they would have nightmares of their abduction. They would remember bits and pieces. They would wonder, tonight, am I going to be abducted again? Am I going to have things, crammed down my throat? Are they going to be, sticking needles in me? Are they going to be, doing all this horrible stuff that some of these cases, these people claim it has happened to them? I don't think I would, after a while, you'd be living in pure hell to have to worry about that. Now, there's been other people who claim that they've gotten blessed from the aliens, that they are so blessed that they're happy. They just seem like it turned their life around. But then those are the same people that say that there's 25 million cloaks UFOs circulating the Earth. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I don't know if I was abducted myself back in the early 70s, but you know what? I would never want to be knowingly abducted. I don't want to know if I was. I don't want to be hypnotized and go through past regression to find out if I was, because frankly, I don't give a damn.
Right, and plus, no one might bring back other memories, and then next thing you know, you're going to be one of those that afraid to go to bed at night, and that's no way to live. Because we know a few people like that. At least I do, and you do too.
Yeah, that they are great people, nice people, but they have aged. In some of the cases, I'm not mentioning names, but they seem to have aged both physically and emotionally a big time from what their real age was after their abduction. Think about that.
Yep.
If that's something being blessed by an alien who abducts you and gives you something, they're not giving you anything. They're taking your life away from you. They're taking your life away from you.
But I agree 100%. Not only that, I think, again, I mean, who's to say they're not tuning you up where you lose your emotions or your any sense to feel anything? And when that happens, you're totally controllable. Think about that. So now if you got a whole population that's controllable like that, that's easy. You can just have them do whatever you want, be slaves or whatever.
No, maybe. What do you think, Sam?
Oh, yes. When you think about personality changes to people, then that becomes very bizarre. And I've seen this before, where people, you have two kinds. The kind that, if this was supposed to be a beneficial thing to be abducted, or it was a positive thing for them, then why would a person's quality of life go down the tube with anxiety and worry about their next sleeping period when they may be abducted because this is how they did it, where you're not even safe in your own bedroom because it can happen anywhere? You know, that's no way to live. That's not a positive experience for people like that. And then when people say it was a good thing, well, look at their personalities. Are they different now? Do they have this love and light thing going on all the time where everything's positive and nothing's negative? There's no balance there. And you worry because it's not the same person. And someone may have been emotion. Like James alluded to, the emotions are gone. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Invasion of the Body Snatcher movie, where once they were literally cloned. They had the memories of the same person. But what was the difference? They expressed no emotion. And that's how they could tell that there was a human amongst them, because something would happen and someone would scream and they'd all come after them. I mean,
yeah, well, you just said it right on the nail head. You know, somebody screamed, they knew who wasn't walking among themselves. But again, you know, I just see some of these people I've known for the years that have been abducted or claim they were abducted, that it's really taking a toll on their lives. Not so much that they have to worry about their children being abducted, their wife being abducted. They're worried about being abducted, and we just lost Sam. Oh, well. But what do you think, James?
Absolutely, and I think that's a scenario that's going on. And that because here's the thing: if you get abducted, if they take you, say you're driving along in a car and they take you, whoever's with you, they take them too. I'm pretty sure they take everybody, and so they're not, you know what I mean. So they're not just going to leave them in the car while they're doing jiggy things with you. They're taking everybody, because that's like it just fell in their lap or whatever. Even if they didn't want everybody, it's a bonus round for them. And I'm telling you, I don't care how you church it up. I don't care how people. Here's the thing: if you find yourself rationalizing or justifying something you've done, you're going to do, or you're doing, it's wrong. So when I hear people rationalizing, oh, it's okay because of this or that, that's right there tells me it's wrong. It's just wrong for what they do. I don't care if they don't. It's not justification just because they don't have emotions. That doesn't make it okay. You know, say I grew up on an island somewhere with my people. We had no contact with humans, and one day we ventured out, and I seen a human for the first time. So I abduct them and do all kind of crazy experiments on them. Well, I can assure you, my court-ordered lawyer, appointed lawyer, at best would probably get me life in prison. You know, they're not going to go for the defense. Well, I didn't know no better. I have no emotions. They're not going to buy that stuff.
No, I agree with you. But you know what? I've had people say, well, I had diabetes. But then after I was abducted, my diabetes is gone. Okay, well, great. Their diabetes is gone. But then on the other hand, they tell me the same magic words, that they have been abducted several times, usually like once or twice a year. They're scared to go to sleep at night. They're scared to have relationships with people if they're single. If they're married, they're worried about, well, are they going to abduct my wife also? Will they take me from my bed? You know, this having them coming in through either a portal or walking through your wall of your bedroom and you know, taking you away against your wishes. Is that something you're going to look forward to each time that happens to you? To be experimented on? Hey, maybe you don't have diabetes anymore, but do you want to have to worry about being your body snatched each time and then wonder, maybe one of these times, you know what? They're not going to return you. They're going to, like that one guy said, they're going to suck all the liquid out of you and then, you know, burn up your body and get rid of it because they're done with you. You know, I'm sure that's people that have been repeatedly abducted. I bet there's a lot of that thought in their mind, too. Am I going to be returned? One of these times, maybe I'm not going to be.
Absolutely. And listen, that's a lot to be on somebody's mind, knowing that every day could be your last day by the hands of something you have no control over at all. That could really work on somebody. And if you don't think so, just put yourself in that mind thought for a while. It will. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't like it. I know that.
Well, I know I would not look forward to it. I think we have Sam calling back, but, you know, we don't have much more time. Is that you, Sam?
Yes, I had a sudden power failure.
Oh, wow. See, we talked about something, but guess what? We're about ready to go to news here in about 2 minutes. But isn't that funny? You talk about a certain subject, and then either your phones kind of go crazy or you had a power droppage.
Oh, it was sudden. It was just like all of a sudden everything went kablooey, and then like within a split second. And unfortunately, it felt a little weird because it's like whatever I was talking about actually startled me. Even though it was like a half a second glitch, it took out the internet for about a minute. So who knows?
Yeah. I take it you must not have a battery backup system.
Well, for part of the system, unfortunately, the internet needs the battery backup for it too, the router. So that's the next thing on my list.
Yeah, don't buy a cheap one because they don't hold up, and they don't. I got my main backup system for my main computers will run at least 4 computers for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I do that for everything else. It's just the router on the other side of the room needs a separate battery backup, and it's on my list. And after today, I think I'm going to take care of that.
Yeah, well, you never know. Again, if you get in some strange topics, right, James, that weird things can happen.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about implants and certain things like that. You could have 2 different phones, landline, cell phone, and Skype. Something's going to go wrong somewhere. I don't know if it's orchestrated by somebody or just coincidence. I know I don't believe in coincidences. So, yeah, I think something's going on.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Sam, you'll be back on tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And tonight, here in about 5 minutes, we're going to have Dave Emmons. We're going to talk about we're going to start from scratch with him. We're going to start about his abduction, how it first started, and then how it just kept on going. The strange lady he met, and then he has another theory he wants to throw in. So make sure you stay tuned in because it's going to be a great hour and a half long, maybe 2 hours long interview with Dave Emmons. So anyway, Sam, till tomorrow, have a good evening and try to stay out of trouble.
I'm trying.
And make sure you have some candles close by.
Yes, definitely. You all take care.
Okay, you take care, my friend. So, yeah. So, that that's things that you always have to worry about. You talk about certain things, and guess what?
You get cut off or bad connection.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, we've heard it here.
Yeah. I didn't even touch my phone, and my phone went off. Crazy.
I thought, there you go. There's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's sitting on the desk, and all of a sudden it started playing something that is really weird. It's just
It is weird.
yeah.